लेंगे तो हम अंग्रेजी में क्या है वो तो कभी and the children were so vocal and so proud about what they were doing and what they were learning and how they were doing it. एक सबसे ज्यादा जो मुझे छू गया वो ये है, हम रिसेस में देखते हैं बच्चों के लिए, रिसेस इज रिसेस एंड चिल्ड्रन आर चिल्ड्रन, पर वो खाना खाने बैठे हैं, जिस जगह बैठे हैं वो उठेंगे तो हर क्लासरूम के बाहर एक झाड़ू है, तो वो उठेंगे तो उस जगह को झाड़ू से साफ करेंगे, वो झाड़ू वहां पे रखेंगे, फिर वहां पे चाहे वो नर्सरी का क्लासरूम है, चाहे वो ग्रेड 12 का क्लासरूम है, ये हर बच्चा करता है। जूते चप्पल ऑब्वियसली क्लासरूम के बाहर उतारता है, पर उससे ज्यादा वो जिस प्रकार से रखे जाते हैं। एंड आई आस्क कि ये क्योंकि ये नर्सरी है तो क्या टीचर करता है? नहीं, ये भी बच्चे ही करते हैं। So that was my first hand experience of being at the school, and thank you so much for joining. So now over to you. अच्छा, हमने ये वहां से बंद किया है, टक हो रहा है, ये काम करता है? नहीं, वो हमने बंद करवाया था, वो बीच में मोबाइल से शो हो रहा है।
Namaste. On behalf of Vidya Bharti, we too are here. So he is doing experimentation at ECCE level. 40 साल से वो चल रहा है। हमारा टोटल विद्या भारती की ओर से हमारा स्कूल्स का, विद्यालयों का क्या थीम है, कैसे चल रहा है, ये आपके सम्मुख रखूंगा। ज्यादा थियरी ना होते हुए let myself go into the practical aspects. First I shall introduce about Vidya Bharati. What is Vidya Bharati? Vidya Bharati runs its educational institutions on Bharatiya philosophical, psychological, sociological and cultural foundations. It had its beginning in the year 1952. So we have been running our institutes for the last 73 years. So the 73 years of standing gives us an opportunity to run many research centers across. So one such research center is located at Gandhi Dham in Kutch, for which he is the, of course you can say, director. And then like that there are 4, one at Lucknow, another in Kurukshetra. So in that way we run educational institutions across the country. Till now we were masters in school education, but now that we are also having our presence felt in higher education as well. There is one organization of ours only, that is Vidya Bharati Ucha Shiksha Samsthan, higher education. So total, if you take into account the expanse, we are having about 24,000 educational institutes. 24,000. Actually, 24,128 institutes. Apart from the higher education, where we have 2 universities and 63 colleges directly run by us and 350 associates. So that is regarding higher education. And in this, 13,000 are big formal educational institutions spread across all the states, including all the union territories. So that is one. And then these, there are 13,000 and other institutes are non-formal education centers. So they are in the form of single teacher schools in sensitive, tribal, border, coastal and other unreached areas where government also do not have access. These centers are non-formal centers are called either Ekal Vidyalaya or Saraswati Vidya Kendra. And all of them, that means leaving 13,000, all those non-formal centers are run free of cost. We don't charge even a single thing. But the principle is same for us. We have 37 lakhs students and 1.6 lakh teachers working with us. So naturally, a system works for it, and it is of course, it's a big effort going across. And now that, just as you have all mentioned, I have been, of course, I am unfortunate to not to hear all the people who spoke earlier. But today morning I came down and I had. But on the lines, we have decided what you call aim and our mission. That I shall read out. And then, basing on that, our activities are planned in detail, very much in detail. Our mission, either. So, our mission is to develop the youth of Bharat, brimming with patriotic fervor, who are physically, mentally, emotionally, intellectually, and spiritually fit to successfully face current challenges. We aim for the upliftment and welfare of people dwelling in towns, villages, forests, mountains, and other challenging areas, including our deprived brethren. To free them from evil social practices, fostering culture, harmony, and prosperity, inspired by the spirit of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, that is one family, dedicated to global well-being. So these last two sentences are added just 2 months back, after a discussion that happened right from top to bottom for 2 years, and then this is added. Earlier, there were few apart. That means this Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam concept was not introduced, and there was challenging areas. That term we have added, because wherever there is a necessity, there we should have to reach. That's the aim. And is it our motto to start schools across the country in a big way? Not at all. It's only model institutions we just set up. And they should be the working models for the society. And society has to draw from it, and they have to run on those lines. That's what. If we take total into account, ours is a big country, about 16 lakh schools. And if you take Anganwadis and pre-primary institutions, they are also 13.77 lakhs in number. So total 30 lakhs institutions, not possible to run. So government has a major stake, and private institutions have also stake, and organizations like us, NGOs, they have a big role to play, but we run model institutions across the country. So in that way, our mission is this. So all the terms are known to you. I think for the last 3 days you must have discussed much. But having heard what did happen from the morning, I feel that Other attempts are very much known. Why this mission was taken up? Most of you know, but even then I brief it in 3 sentences. One, in this universe, there are 3 words, 4 words we can say. 4 जगत दृश्यमान है. क्या है वो 4 जगत? एक है वनस्पति जगत. Plant kingdom you can say, but that's not the true translation. दूसरा जो है जंतु जगत. तीसरा जो है पंचभूतात्मक जगत. चौथा जो है मानव जगत. ये 4 ही है. So out of these 4, this Rucha Jagat या वनस्पति जगत, that creates no problem at all. It has its own balancing mechanism and it helps the entire humanity. Without that we can't live. That everybody agrees. Moreover, it takes whatever we leave, carbon dioxide, and gives us oxygen. That you know. Jantu Jagat, that also doesn't create any problem. Because it has its own balancing mechanism. And unless we enter into their space, they don't create any problem. They have their own balance. That is why you have no problem with this Vanaspati Jagat and Jantu Jagat. And the third one I told, which you already know, Panchabhutatma Jagat. वो पृथ्वी, वायु, आकाश, जल, अग्नि. These do not have any problem. But without that we can't live. They have also their own mechanism. Whenever it has some problem, immediately corona comes or something comes. Naturally, we are all pushed back to our houses and they flourish themselves to serve the humanity and universe at large. That you all know. Then our forefathers have realized when these 3 jagats have no problem, then who is the problem?
We are the problem.
Manava Jagat. That's why our ancestors have established a set of samskars, samskara vyavastha. और दुनिया में किधर भी आपको देखने के लिए मिलता है. इधर तो बहुत सोचकर the entire balance in the universe that depends on the Manava Jagat only. So that's why right from Garbhavastha to the death and afterwards also there are set of samskars. They are given in such a way that so man has to, for that he will explain. I am not going to explain about that Sarvangena Vikasa and Samagra Vikasa. I leave it to him and he will do it. So for Sarvangena Vikasa and Samagra Vikasa, our ancestors have planned. So our entire education system of the ancient past, of course, leaving this part which everybody has mentioned. So that was depending on more on Vyaktitva Vikasa. So in that way, if you look at our mission speaks of more man-making initiatives. Of course, knowledge is a concern. Nobody can deny that. But ultimately, our approach, if you read all these things, it will come in one sentence. That is, our education is activity-based, socially oriented, and spiritually rooted. So, this is our mission. Accordingly, we have evolved an action plan. What is that action plan? So one is that education is the medium of acquiring knowledge which is necessary for the welfare of the universe, growth of the nation, and also for the all-round and holistic development of a personality. So that for that entire our system works on this particular. This is the action plan. Action plan 1. So apart from the regular syllabus which is prepared, so our schools are either affiliated to CBSE or state boards. Apart from the curriculum prescribed by those boards, we have our own curriculum evolved for this. I shall be explaining in brief, of course, nothing beyond the time I speak. And then second action plan. Point is given here. More focus is on man-making initiatives by building different competencies, value-based and life skills. Here comes time-tested Panchakoshatmaka Vikasa, which you must have discussed during all these 3 days on many occasions. Panchakoshatmaka Vikasa, a personality development of a child based on, this is also our philosophical, psychological foundations, is given the topmost priority. Accordingly, activities are planned in detail for which we develop syllabus for all the initiatives. There are 18 initiatives. Here, I'm not going to explain all of them. For all the 18, right from what you call ECC level 2 or pre-primary level 2, in our terminology, it is Ishuvatika level to standard 12. We have complete syllabus evolved. That has been, we have been researching upon, for every 5 years we revise it. Because children gain everything through activities only. We plan students' activities, we plan teachers' activities, we plan activities in the society. So a detailed syllabus is, of course, syllabus is available with us. You can also go through, because that's the syllabus not only for us. It is for the entire students. And of course, as he told, he is also experimenting. Many other people know. And this is second initiative. And another important thing is, right from the beginning we have been doing it, to take pride in our Bharti knowledge and tradition by not forgetting our forefathers' contribution for the humanity. Every education in the rest of the world is rooted only what you call with their identity, with their self. So that's why every student over here, he should have to have this particular thing. What is our Bharatiya Jnana Parampara? This we have been doing right from the beginning, right from 1952. Just now it has been put on paper in national education policies. We have been doing it. So this is third part. Unless we take pride in our past. So there is one word, I think I remember, there is one book called India, Mother of Us All. The book written by Bichu Chamala. About the Bichu, he was touring entire world. In his preface, he wrote one thing. What did he write? We should have our feet in the past, heart in the present, and eyes on the future. Then a person or a country automatically develops. So that's why भारतीय ज्ञान परंपरा का उद्देश्य वही है. हमारा सब कुछ जो है, हमारा पूर्वजों ने हमारे लिए कुछ काम नहीं किया. They went on doing everything for the welfare of the society at large. Their entire research. If you go through, you will feel it. So, but let the students feel proud of it. So that is the third initiative. third action plan point. And another important point. So as she was mentioning, you were mentioning about that my entire, when I was given to this particular residential school project, I was asked to resign from being a lecturer and asked to take up the project. So first line which I wrote was, education school is the center of social change. Social responsibility is the prime concern. So that's why fourth action plan is school and its stakeholders, with all its stakeholders, to take up the social responsibility and for social service, and they should undertake social service for social transformation. सामाजिक परिवर्तन अगर होना है तो सामाजिक दायित्व तो सब माने everybody in the country should take up. For that we have plans to take society to the school and to bring what you call, or to take school to the society and bring society to the school. Number of activities. So this action plan is implemented in every school. This is the core thing. So that's why entire set of activities designed are around this. And then teachers and learning, about that part. Here in our schools, teachers, as you know, teachers are the frontline warriors who will bring the policy or ideology or anything into practice to the classroom level. It is they who can do anything, otherwise do and undo. That also we should agree. So naturally, teachers are given topmost impact. And moreover, my definition of teaching is very simple. Of course, you may agree or disagree. Teaching is nothing but reaching the child. Naturally, we call them as acharyas. Hence our nomenclature for teacher is acharya, which means a person who let the students learn by his or her behavior, conduct, acharan. So nothing to speak. It's not my lecture, it is not my word which matters more. What matters more is my conduct. इसीलिए देखिए ना, गुरु का महत्व किधर किधर है? चरण में नहीं है, आचरण में है. लेकिन सब आकर चरण छूते हैं, ठीक है, that's out of respect. But actually आचरण में है. इसको मजबूत करते हुए हम आचार्य, वही शब्द प्रयोग करना. And ultimately the teacher, of course, that was the tradition of our country. Teacher who motivates and inspires the students by being a role model, and acharya is not a simple class or subject teacher, but the mentor of the society around as a whole. ये दायित्व लेकर आचार्य समाज में जितना उनका कार्य क्षेत्र है उधर जाते हैं, सबसे संपर्क करते हैं. So teacher, and one more thing. Here, philosophy of teaching in our schools believes that it's not the teacher who teaches, but it is the learner who learns. Everybody knows it. But Vivekananda, I think what he told you remember always. He reminds us that education is the manifestation of perfection, which is already in man. But in our National Education Policy and NCF 2022, this Panchapadi pedagogical approach was mentioned. This is being followed in our schools for the last 4.5 decades. What is it? Basing on this principle only. It's not the teacher who teaches. It is the learner who learns. For that, so the other term which was used was to arouse curiosity, and all these things you have used here. I appreciate very much. But आचार्य का दायित्व क्या है? यानी जिज्ञासा जगाना. So that is the correct Sanskrit word. And then the entire knowledge is inherent, but it is the duty of the educator or the teacher or instructor, whatever you call acharya, to just remove the dust on the mirror of the mind. ये काम अगर हो जाएगा तो इसीलिए हम we are following this Panchapadi pedagogical approach. This is a learning process which has 5 steps. You know, of course, he may mention few because I should not take much of a time. So I leave it to him. But 5 steps: Aditi, Adhyata, means learner. So Aditi, Bodha, Abhyas, Prayoga, or Prasad. So these 5. I'll give you an article, I'll give it to her to be circulated. I wrote in English 5-page article that I shall give it to you on Panchapadi. Of course, he shall have to explain. It is his duty. So this is the Bharatiya concept of education and learning, Panchapadi. And all others are, they are not as scientific and as psychological, as time tested as that of Panchapadi learning process. All others are scientific, but they are teaching method, whereas this is only the learning method. बाकी कुछ नहीं है. ये तो अभी MCF में आ गया है, हम सब तो करना है, लेकिन इसके लिए पहले वर्कआउट किए. इधर और एक विषय भी बाद में बताऊंगा, but for observing this, the NEP's technical team that has visited their school, not only their school, 4 schools of 4 stages. अंत में इसके बारे में थोड़ा विवरण दूंगा. बस this is teacher and his mission and the learning. And next, our concept. This is the basic concept. अरे हम समाज के लिए जी रहे हैं. There are 4 types of responsibilities for every individual. What are those? One is individual social responsibility. व्यक्तिगत और वैयक्तिक सामाजिक दायित्व. दूसरा जो है पारिवारिक सामाजिक दायित्व. इसमें नहीं है, आप उधर देखना नहीं. पारिवारिक सामाजिक दायित्व. Every family has a social responsibility. Third, institutional social responsibility. माने हम जिस संस्था में है, स्कूल है, उसको स्कूल सोशल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है. चौथा, एज ए ग्रुप इफ यू डू, दैट इज ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल सोशल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी. अभी 5वीं 4थी जोड़ा जा रहा है, वो क्या है? कॉर्पोरेट सोशल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी. बाकी सब है, लेकिन स्कूल हैज आल्सो ए सोशल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी. व्यक्तिगत सामाजिक दायित्व है. मैं जब वो टीचर था, मेरी प्रिंसिपल था, हमारा 2 दायित्व. एक फैमिली सोशल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी. माई सेल्फ एंड माई वाइफ. Ours is a village. There is a big residential school. So I was the principal of it. So वो गांव है. Myself and my wife, we went there and we stayed there. Of course, the village is attached to us. And within 2 years, that village was made what you call 100% literate village. Yeah, I have not told that. There is one Dr. Ram Singh. He visited our school, visited our village as he was the deputy director of census in the government of India. So when he took a lottery, this village's name has come as the 70% literate village. He visited, then he observed, and he just started observing all these things. After observing, he came to me and told, आपकी वजह से वो 70% लेते. He wrote and gave it. मैंने वो पारिवारिक सामाजिक दायित्व मेरा. और दूसरा व्यक्तिगत सामाजिक दायित्व क्या है? समाज के लिए कुछ करना है. One every year we used to, myself, I used to bring one person. So who is from deprived sections of the society? For 25 years, घर में रखना बस, उनके लिए जो करना 1 साल के लिए रखना. So then his perception of education or on education that gets changed. ये व्यक्तिगत सामाजिक दायित्व है. That's social responsibility. School, all our schools take up social responsibility as we feel that educational institutions are not simply ivory towers or what you call islands to live in isolation, but they are lighthouses spreading the beam of service to the entire society around. Of course, पूरा दुनिया में तो नहीं कर सकते, हमारा जिधर स्कूल है उधर तो कर सकते हैं. इस दृष्टि से our stakeholders, everybody, मैंने प्रिंसिपल, टीचर्स, मैनेजमेंट, साधारणतः 3 बोलते हैं, हम षडभुजी बोलते हैं. एग्जाम्पल schedule: principals, teachers, management, alumni, parents, and existing students. They also go to villages. So in that way, they become agents of social change and service. Some of the activities under social responsibility are adopting a village or slum. Every school adopts one village or slum. Every school. अरे बिना सामाजिक दायित्व के बिना अब क्यों स्कूल चला रहे हैं? सोसाइटी से कुछ संबंध नहीं है क्या? सो जाते हैं. और running Bal Sanskar Kendras, establishing Abhyasakas, that is tuition centers in backward areas, conducting Matru Mandalis, holding summer training camps for rural children, skill development centers for self-reliance, holding health awareness camps in villages, and also planning pursuit to bring society to the school in many ways. Every school has to do it. It's not exempted. They do it. Almost every school has Matru Bharati, another dimension. मैंने मातृ शक्ति इतनी ज्यादा है हमारा देश में. Without involving them, you can't expect any social change or national development possible. इसीलिए हम क्या करते हैं, हर एक विद्यालय में मातृ भारती घटन. मातृ भारती यानी दे आर द मदर्स ऑफ आवर स्टूडेंट्स. और कोई भी जोड़ सकते हैं उसमें. They take the responsibility of the school as well as the society. In Assam, it worked out wonders. In Kerala, it worked out wonders. In many states, they are on the path of proving themselves to be what you call change makers. So this is our social responsibility. And then next, students, teachers, and the society. Ultimately, the relation between what you call students, teachers, and the society. Students are exposed to the society in many ways through outings in sensitive, tribal, slum, border, and far-flung areas to observe and understand the conditions over there first. अरे संवेदनशीलता जगाने के लिए कुछ कार्यक्रम करो ना. अपने आप वो कर सकते हैं बाद में कुछ. मेरा एक स्टूडेंट, he was mischievous, he was son of an SP. Mischievous. एक बार मैं ट्राइबल एरिया जा रहा था, हमारा उधर विद्यालय है. So I took him with me. I stayed there for 2 days. He asked me what to do. You do whatever you like. I was there. I was doing my duty. लेकिन आने के बाद उनमें इतना मन परिवर्तन हो गया, वो पिताजी को फोन करके उनके बुलाए। बाद में उस थोड़ा हम वनवासी क्षेत्र में एक विद्यालय चलाते हैं। दे लिव ऑफ कोर्स विथ मिनिमम फैसिलिटीज। they have the mentality of existing best with the least। वो देखकर उनको इतना संवेदनशीलता जागृत हुई, तो उन्होंने क्या किया, बाद में 18,000 तुरंत माताजी पिताजी को बुलाकर बोले मैं उधर देना है। आई एम मोर प्रिविलेज बट दे आर अंडर। उनमें ये परिवर्तन देखते हुए नाउ ही इज what you call medical superintendent of a medical college। क्या संभव नहीं है। And then students are involved in conducting service activities। मैं जितने मेंशन किया है वो सब हमारा 8वीं 9वीं 10वीं 11वीं 12वीं ये सब छात्र जो है गांव जाते हैं, उधर काम करते हैं। स्टूडेंट्स विजिट, छोटे बच्चे जो है वो मैंने 6th 7th 8th को लेकर जाते हैं। they visit the orphanages, hospitals, old age homes and many service projects। why? To make them sensible to think of amelioration of the needy and downtrodden and less privileged people of the society। अंडरस्टैंडिंग द वेलफेयर मंत्रा क्या है, सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः बोलते हैं, लेकिन ये जब करते हैं, हाँ उनको मैं भी कुछ करना है। एंड और एक भी है क्या, माने ईश्वर सर्वभूतानां, डिविनिटी एवरीवेयर, वो दर्शाने के लिए बच्चों को लेकर जाना है। 6वीं 7वीं 8वीं 5वीं भी जाते हैं। देखकर आने के बाद चिंतन प्रक्रिया शुरू होती है। एंड और एक भी करते हैं, आप सब करते हैं, फिर भी टू अंडरस्टैंड द स्टूडेंट्स रोल ऑन सेंसिटिव एंड बेसिक एंड इमोशनल इश्यूज, जस्ट शी वाज मेंशनिंग। सो ऑल दोस थिंग्स यू कॉल एक्सपर्ट्स, अचीवर्स, पॉलिसी मेकर्स, स्टालवर्ट्स एंड रोल मॉडल्स। They periodically sit with these people. For that a plan is to be made, otherwise it's not possible. Unless we make a yearly plan, it's not possible. And then moreover, there is a complete syllabus, I have already told, moral and spiritual education. Not only that, our 18 Shastras, of course yoga is everywhere, it is followed. And then Sanskrit, Sangeet, and then Sharirika. All these are core curriculum. Apart from that, Vedic mathematics, बाकी बालिका शिक्षा, बाकी इतने सारे हैं, 18 लिस्ट मैं संभव हो तो देकर ही जाता हूँ। सबके लिए डिटेल्ड सिलेबस है। And teachers and the management meet the parents at their respective houses periodically to develop a rapport and also to remind them of, this is very important, the role of the family in the society, as the families are the building blocks of our society, not in any other country। भारत में परिवार ही बिल्डिंग ब्लॉक है, परिवार कल्पना ही है। अब सोचिए, जो भी हो, ये हमारे परिवार है। सोलार सिस्टम हम नहीं बोलते, परिवार है। वृक्ष है, परिवार है। जंतु भी है, परिवार है। परिवार कल्पना से ही भारत विकसित हुआ अभी तक, वो कल्पना नहीं जाने देंगे। परिवार से ही ज्यादा संस्कार बच्चों को मिलता है। तो मिलने के लिए वो लुप्त होते जा रहे हैं। हमको क्या है, वी हैव टू एडुकेट देम टू रिवाइव दैट प्रोसीजर। माने एक परिवार यानी संस्कार केंद्र है, वो बच्चे जो है उनका विकास केंद्र जो है वही है। इसीलिए उसको जगाने के लिए हम 3 बार 4 बार 5 बार घर जाना, उनके साथ बैठना और कभी कभी प्रोग्राम्स अरेंज करना. Our students are taken to Samaj Darshan and Seema Darshan programs where they spend their time with underprivileged and our soldiers protecting our border. That 15,000 kilometers of land frontier and 7,500 kilometers of what you call this coast. In all these areas, our students go. There are more schools in these areas as well. Rajasthan में अभी पता ये, if our students do not go, our border these people, they get what you call disturbed. ये आदत बन गई. जो काम करते हैं और उनके लिए क्या कितना रिस्क लेकर काम कर रहे हैं, ये अनुभव होना है. वो जो काम कर रहे हैं उनको बधाई देना है. रक्षाबंधन यानी उधर जाकर ही पहले काम करते हैं हमारे बच्चे. जब ऐसा सीमा दर्शन के लिए 2 दिन रहना, उधर गांवों में रहना, कितनी ये सब बस मैं पूरा कर लेता हूँ. एंड अबाउट एलमनी, मोस्ट रिस्पॉन्सिबल एलमनी क्या है? Our old students are 40 lakhs in number, spread across 80 countries in the world. And they are all cultural ambassadors of our country. You can take it granted. जहां पर है भारत की गरिमा बढ़ाने के लिए करते हैं, उधर तो काम करते हैं, उनका विकास के लिए तो काम करते ही है. And these students, they are around 11 lakhs are registered with us, and every school has an alumni association. पूर्व छात्र परिषद तो है. They have taken 2 tasks. ये क्या है? One is they are occupying very prominent positions in the country. May it be defense sector, may it be इतना sectors हम mention सकते हैं. Judicial service, civil services, top defense. अभी आर्मी ऑफ द चीफ ऑफ आर्मी स्टाफ जो है उपेंद्र द्विवेदी, वो सतना के शिशु मंदिर के विद्यार्थी थे. वो he declared now, of course we could not have told, but he told in public that whatever sanskars I got, it is only due to Saraswati शिशु मंदिर of सतना. वैसे मैंने 11 lakhs are registered and they are marked. I have entire list, but I am not going to trouble you with that. There are government servants, vice chancellor, directors, professors, sportsmen. स्पोर्ट्स में भी इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे अचीवर्स इतना लिस्ट है हमारे पास. आप भी है. I don't want to read the list. And then our old students are attached to one alma mater. Second is country. They are fulfilling 2 responsibilities. School. For school, they are undertaking training programs, skill development centers, and all these things. They are run by old students. COVID. During COVID time, our, of course, we have done. And I was also involved in one of the camps in art school. All the high schools have become COVID service centers, care centers. In my center, where I was there, with 18 youth and 5 doctors, we started. 286 were there. 142 ladies and rest are gents. 48 days camp we ran, and 196 people outside treatment were given. And patients who are on almost deathbed, they were shifted to very big centers. So in that way, all this activity was undertaken because of our old students only. From America, they pumped. And many big hospitals were also built on the campuses. So in that way, old students were, of course, they were making a big social contribution, enriching the schools and empowering the society. That was the main motto. I don't want to explain further. And ultimately, This is impact and inclusiveness of the school lifestyle. So there is one article published in on October 24th, 2019 in PTA, and of course one international organization for CSR funds, I think, it has surveyed and it has suggested, a big article is there. Synopsis, of course, Vidya Bharti is actively contributing towards providing an inclusive education for over 7 decades, impacting 63.5 million lives, 6.35 35 crores lives by that time. Of those living under rupees 400 a day, Vidya Bharti is a scale leader recommended to the Million Lives Club. That's a global initiative by reach scale that identifies and supports the most suitable solutions for social change to achieve social challenges to be achieved. UN 2030 सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल्स, बड़ा आर्टिकल है, उसमें से इतना मात्र मैंने लिया है. सो इन दैट वे one thing, in 5 years they are going to add 1 more million, like that. In that way, all this how much inclusive education is being provided. And ours, what is the concept means, traditional gurukulas in modern setting, हमारे विद्यालय का concept वही है. Why that concept? Even the Finland system, which is now being observed, so it has copied from our Gurukula system only. So all those people should be feeling proud because they are running it completely. So in that way, academic excellence, of course, it is the watchword. But all our pedagogical changes and strategies are to provide quality education, which is only life, which is not only the life changing, but also mind crafting with character building experiences. Teaching under the sky is one of the initiatives. मैंने केवल क्लासरूम में बिठाकर सब कुछ कराएंगे, एक्टिविटी तो करा लेते हैं, लेकिन वैसा नहीं है. बाहर लेके चलो, let them live with the nature and understand things as they look around. So in that way, all these things. I told more number of 18 man-making initiatives. Teachers spend maximum time with students, aiding them in learning, which happens at any place, any time, and any situation. Learning can happen at any time. A question which I was asked I have asked my teacher at 10 years of my age. Now I am 73 plus. So now I got clarification at the age of 70. So that means 10 years back, that means some 5th standard question. For that answer, my teacher's answer did not satisfy me. At 70th year, it got satisfied. So that means learning happens at any time, at any moment, at any place, and at any age also. So, but keeping that in view, teacher should be available to the student. That's the concept, and our teachers are available. And that's it. Other things I don't read. And then National Education Policy and Vidya Bharti. Vidya Bharti has provided thousands of pages of inputs to NEP 20, NCF 20, Foundation Education, Foundation Stage 22, and NEP, NCF Secondary Education 23. After that, steering committee and technical committee of NEP visited our school for Kasturi Ranganji and ourselves. Of course, I was fortunate to be with him for 21 times we met. He was treating me like a son. And I am also very happy because he was sharing ideas, experiences. And from that, this output has come. So whenever he was having a doubt, he was phoning. And Vidya Bharti is fortunate to be with him. Number of times. How many presentations have been done in front of him. And when I requested, he agreed. 8 members, they visited 4 schools of 4 stages. In his school, they stayed for 3 days. 4 stages, that is one is, of course,
Ghaziabad.
Ghaziabad, and the other is Punjab, Kalwada. They stayed there for, at every stage school, they stayed for at least 2 days. And they observed the best practices. All the best practices were enlisted. And they gave me a copy. The best practices followed in Vidya Bharti schools. And all those were included in NCF. So, in that way, we say that whenever all we work, and these people definitely they are also arranging to visit of different what you call models of education. The best thing of NEP is the way in which we educate has changed. So naturally, in the country's development, we also can contribute. In conclusion, what to do? So the simple one sentence. In conclusion, Vidya Bharti schools are fulfilling their national responsibility by educating persons, society, and we are making them serve in the society. Only theme, of course, there is the theme is clearly written here. Atmano mokshartham jagat hitaya. Sir, you can elevate yourself to any level, but the precondition is jagat hitaya. So naturally, that particular thing is to be kept in view, but the interest of the Vishwa is important. Naturally, our Bharat will reach its pinnacle of glory because of all of our efforts, and it's quite visible. Now it is no longer a regional player, it is what you call a global player, not only global player, but it is a global leader. So in that way, that is why we have also undertaken to take up the task of what you call these ITIs are being run, Janasikshan Samsthans are being run, Sainik schools are being run by us. So in that way, we are all helping in our Vidya Bharti is also helping in every way to the upliftment of the society in general and to become a Vishwaguru in general, in particular.